Happy Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday and it's jewelry time at my house. Look at my coffee steam coming off. Look at my new cup. I love this cup. It's something I wouldn't normally buy. And I saw on the label it said 4 hours it stays warm. I was like, man, I love my coffee hot. And it does help keep it warm. The bad thing is it's pretty painted and you have to hand wash it. But I love my coffee hot, so it'll be good for now. So how you doing? This is like my 31st, 32nd DIY, and Chat GBT tells me I have the wrong time to do this, but this is the time I can do it for now. I hate to change it, but I might have to change the time to try to get more people come on and want to play jewelry, because that's what I want to do. I want to make jewelry. So I've been organizing my stuff. I got my stuff over here. Look at this. I got these things are so organized now. Probably organized so I can't find them. Look here. See all my little tubes? All my ear wires, colors by colors. Yes, I love the organized stuff. It makes it easier. Bad thing is I'm getting where I can remember the first place I put something and not so much the second. Anyway, today what we're doing is stinky. So I had to open the window but I'm kind of excited. I didn't know, ouch, if this would work or not. Well, first off, let me back up a little bit because I'll show you what we did macrame last time, and I want to show you I finished the piece. Let me pull you closer. I finished the piece. It's just a plain macrame, plain stitch. I think it's a square stitch. I added pearls and then I added some charms to the center. I like it. I like it a lot, but when I put it on, I don't really like how the charms lay. They just are too willy-nilly. So I don't know if I just need to add more but it's very pretty. I do like how it turned out. I added this extra pearl at the bottom. If a small pearl would have fit there, small pearls have small holes, so that wouldn't work there. But I wanted to show you because one of these days I took a class and we did these triple wrap bracelets, and I want to show you the different macrame stitches in it. We did the basic one in that one. Here, let me pull my live up here. The way I can say hi. Show you. And I see that my sound works. I always like to see that. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome to my world. I wonder if that's Zane Wimpegler watching, and it is. He's my favorite fan. So anyway, I wanted to show you, this one here is my triple wrap one. And you have to make quite a long, thread to do these, but it's got a beautiful golden clasp on the bottom. Oh, I got two people watching, Miss Tina and Zane, my favorite fans. And you see we start out with the plain square stitch, and then you just add a bead every so often. Here's the twisted one. Can't remember what these names are called of this one, but I love that with all the little beads on it. Isn't that cute? And then there's just another random bead. This is another interesting stitch. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches so far. And then you just keep doing them. And I didn't do any rhyme or reason. As I went along, I added what I wanted. And then in the very end, I just added these little dangles with a bead to end it off. Because the thing with this thread is, you do have to glue it. I can see there's a little piece right here coming out. I probably should re-glue that. Yeah, see that? I should re-glue that. Anyway, that's the triple wrap. Well, actually, this one does 5. I must have got, I came home and made a whole bunch of them. And they look really pretty on. They're very pretty. So this was the small version of that. And I like how it turned out. It's very dainty. I love the little Cancer charm on it, that sterling on there. So today, guess what we're going to do today? The other thing I wanted to show you this week, I got my memory pieces done for my friend. And this was the one I made for me. And I'm going to do a post. I'm going to fade out the face, just for, but this was one that was pretty deep. I see it was with the resin and paint and, a few ashes, and it turned out really nice. I like how it turned out. I did my hair this morning, and look at all the curl came out. It's as flat as a pancake. But you know what? It's almost 50 out. Maybe that's why. I'll take it. I'll take flat hair and 50 any day. Flat hair and 50. So what smells in my place right now is, here's my water. Good, I got water because I got to put this in some water. What smells is, well, just let me just show you my desk because this is fun. Now, this isn't something, this is a little mix of jewelry making and kind of like card making, but it's fun. And I did this before, and I'll show you the finished product where we took pieces of metal. These were earrings. These were my personal earrings. I took these earrings and we laid, what do you call it? Embossing glitter. Yeah, embossing glitter. And we used a little bit of the embossing clear powder, which gives it a shine. And you put it on. Now, in card making, when you emboss a card, you put embossing liquid down, you put the powder, you shake it off, and then you use a heat gun. It melts it, and it adheres to the paper. In metal, you don't want to do that because the powder would fly everywhere. You lay it on a hot skillet. So I have an old hot skillet here, and it's really yucky because I use that to melt wax in. We have bees, and when I melt the wax, I take paper and wax it. I just fill it up, let it melt, and put the paper in it, and then you can use that in different things, mostly art journaling or whatever. But you could use it in earring making too. So let me show you what I did this morning. I wanted to give it a little test, and I love washi tape. So we're going to use washi tape, metal blanks, washi tape. So this is what I made this morning. I took this blank. Well, here's the blank. I wrapped it in washi tape. Then I added my clear embossing ink just on the top and the bottom because you put the ink on there. I used the paintbrush to do it. Then I poured a little bit of embossing powder. I loved this pretty green with a little bit of the clear. You don't have to use the clear, but the clear makes it really shiny and kind of stand out a little bit, stand up. So look, I made sure the bee was just showing. So I'm going to walk through doing one more of those so you can see how I did that. So let me turn you around. And I've worked really hard on my camera stand so that I think that and to try to not have to fuss with that thing every time. So here's the ones that I did before. I've had these a long time. They look like they have a little bit of coating, and I wonder if I could put a little clear on them and reheat them, if they would shine back up. But I've had those a long time. And here's the memory piece I did. I did a keychain, like a necklace chain keychain on a really pretty clasp. I did little teeny hearts. I'll post those so you can see how they turned out. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the tape. I got to find the tape. I want to find the same exact spot that I found. I guess I wouldn't have to do the same exact spot, would I? No, let's just do a different spot. So I think I like that right there. But I got to make sure that hole's at the top. Let me zoom in a little bit for you. I'm going to take and put that washi tape right on that metal. Well, that doesn't look straight to me. I like it to be nice and straight. So let me set the coin straight. That might help me, huh? And then I'm going to put that right there. Now, I didn't fuss over the other one as much. So then I just broke it off and I cut around the edge. Not real close, just neat, a little bit, just to take the worst of it off. See, it must be cold down here, or that mug is just really working. The steam is coming off of it. So I got the worst of it off. And then I took my file and I just filed the edge of it off. Kind of bend in, so that the metal is like there. Get that so it's nice and there's no pieces sticking up. I just love jewelry making. I just love jewelry making. It was so nice taking the dogs out today. The sun was shining and it was, God, in the 40s. It was wonderful. It's made me a new person today anyway. So look, there's the before and there's the after. Now this is messy. So this is a messy little project, but it's very cool looking. So what I did now was I took my little brush, and I don't know that you have to do this. I just think it would be helpful. And I took a little bit. So this is made for card making, and you put it on the paper. I'm just going to put it around the top and the bottom to help that, just a little bit on the paper, a little bit off the paper. That's what I wasn't sure would work, is if it would melt the tape, because that tape is kind of like plastic. So, and then I had a handy brush close, which I ruined in my resin, I think. Oh no, it's coming back alive. Just in case I need to wipe a little bit of it off. So now, what I'm going to do is, this is messy, so I want to be careful because I don't want to get my jewelry spot all dirty. I'm going to pick it up by the tape, and I'm just going to put a little bit of resin or a little bit of powder along the top. I want to cover the line because I don't want no lines. You know what I mean? The tape creates a line, and what we're doing is we are filling in the. So there's enough of that. Let me put the lid on this because the last thing I want to do is drop that. Then we take the clear, ultra thick embossing powder. It's thick. It does create a thickness. Now you wouldn't have to add this, but I really like how it gives that raised, thick appearance on it. What would be cool is to do one without that and see. Now I'm just using my fingers to do this. I'm going to put the lid on that because I know me. I don't want to spill nothing. Then I'm going to take my brush and see. I want to get it off of that bee a little bit. I don't really care about the rest of it so much, but I don't really want it on that bee. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to shake it a little bit to get a little bit of it off. And then I'm going to lay it, which you're not going to see, but I'm going to lay it right on top of my electric skillet. And it doesn't take it long. The tricky part is getting it off of there. Now I'm not keeping that powder because it's mixed with the other powder. I usually put the powder back in there, but I think I'm just going to throw that away. Usually you can take your powder, if you keep them separate, and pour them right back into your container. So we got to give it a minute, and boy, it's already melting. Yep. Okay. I think I can take it off. See, it doesn't take it very long. And I think I got it like on 250, but it does stink. It doesn't last long, but it's smelly. So I had to be careful because what's nice is I want to find a used old, um, just round, maybe pancake one, because mine has sides and it's kind of hard to get it off. I had to work really hard at it, and you don't want to flip it because it's hot. You got to get it off. So I scooped it up on a piece of paper and I'm bringing it over and I'm letting it cool. And there we are. We got 2 B earrings. Isn't that cool? They're both uniquely different. That's interesting. This one's got a lot more dark in it than this one does. I might redo this one a little and add a little dark to that one just to balance them out. But they're fine. I just never noticed that somewhere in there in the and I think you can just do this see how dark the bottom piece is. I'm just going to add a little there, and I think I'm going to add a little lighter on this one. Let's see if it'll take it. Let's just try it. I do want to take, and I don't mind the B being covered a little bit, but I just want to make sure the B is shown. You can see the B because these are B earrings. Let's see what happens when I put them back on. I have to be careful because I don't want to accidentally turn them over. Oh, this one's stuck to the paper. Okay, you now got to get off the paper. There you go. So all I'm doing is sitting it on a hot skillet. It's one of those you pour the oil in. It's got sides. It's old. It's used. It would be ready to go into the Goodwill or the trash can really. Because yeah, it's melting again, and they're more even in color now. That's what I wanted. They weren't bad before, but I do want them to be more even in color. So let me work at getting them off. See, that didn't take very long. There's that one. That's the first one I did. And I have to lay that on something because it's hot. I'm going to sit it over here. And then let me get the other one. And there's that one. We'll let those cool really good. Let's do another pair. Let's see. Do I got time here? We got time to do one more because I have an idea. I want to do a square pair. Those were round. And I love this tape. It's funny. My friend gave me this tape. She gave me this tape, and then she did it again. She gave me the tape. Now look, none of those match. I want one that matches. But anyway, let me look in my stash here. Because I want to make another pair of earrings, I think. Let me see if there's any in here that'll work. Oh yeah, there's some in here. Those ones I did were gold, but these are like brass. I wanted to do like a square pair. Let's see if I can find any matching square ones. These are all round. Here's a nice size. I like that. I like that size. Or this size. Okay, there's the size. Yeah, that'll work. So, I have these cool ruby beads that, look at how dainty little these are. Look how little those are. Those would go cute on the top of those. I have these little beautiful ruby nuggets, and I thought they would be really cool at the top of an earring with this red. I wonder what color. I'm in love with those rough ruby stones, but I wonder what color I should put with this when I use the powder. Here's a cool looking brown. brownish red. I could do silver. I could do this pretty, like, sparkly. Oh, I like that sparkly. That sparkly, I think, is going to be it. I got one that's like snow. That would be cool. Oh, I got a whole thing of them. A whole thing of them. And you could do multiples. You didn't, you could mix it up. Mix it up. I think with these, though, I want to be a little more consistent with the tape. What do you think? Like that? Let's do that. How's that? That's one way to make it very similar, huh? Lay them down together and do them. Now I'm just taking the tape off best I can. My trash can's covered up with that hot skillet, so I can't throw anything in there. I keep trying to. So I get the worst off. Now I'm going to file that so there's no paper on the edge. Nice and smooth. Now I do have to shout out to Heather Powers because of Humble Beads, because she really did kind of start the trend of using the washi tape on the metal that I noticed, and kind of inspired me to go this extra step to add the embossing powder. I love embossing on paper. It's very pretty. So it's the same principle. You just take the embossing fluid, which holds the powder on. I do it to little tins too. That's what gave me the idea for this is because I put them on little tins. I put the embossing powder on, or the liquid, then I put the powder all on it, and then those I spray. And well, I don't spray actually. I heat with a heat gun, and because it's a heat gun and this is powder, if you don't get enough embossing fluid on it, it flies everywhere. It's a messy little, messy. So, what shall we do with these? Oh, let me show you the ones we did. They're probably dry now to the touch. They're stuck to my paper. They're very cool looking. I love how they turned out. Is that neat or what? Now I'll probably find a pretty green bead to put at the top, make a set of earrings out of those, and I might sand the back a little bit. They're a little rough from the powder, but anyway, I like how they turned out. So let's add some powder to these. What are we going to do? So it doesn't really matter what color metal you use pretty much, because it gets covered up. If you notice, like this one here got covered up. And that one they did two-tone. So what we could do is put the black on the bottom and the snowy flakes on the top. I think that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to get our brush and take our embossing. They call it clear embossing ink. When you do a card, you just smash that thing down. And I'm going to just be liberal on the top and go over the line so I can hide the line some. I noticed, though, whatever got past the line that didn't have the ink, it's still melted. So that's good to know. But we want to be sure that the powder, if you put this on, it's going to be hard to brush the powder off. As it is now, I can brush some of the powder off in the middle because there's no ink there. And it gives me a place to hold down. So make sure to cover that line, because it's nice that it doesn't look like it has a break. You know what I mean? So Now, what I want to do with this one, I'm going to put my cap on that. And this stuff lasts forever. I've had that for years. And this stuff lasts forever. I got the big container this time. So, I'm going to put this paper underneath to make it easier. Okay. I'm going to put the dark powder on the bottom. So, I'm going to just generously put the powder. You can be generous with it because you're going to knock it off there. And then put it back. See that? What you don't use. So I'm going to do the same with this one. I hear movement upstairs. Is that dogs doing that? They're in the kennel, so they shouldn't be out making any noise. I don't know what that is. Pour that back in there. And then this one here is a lot flakier. I love this one. It's white embossing. But I don't want to use this card because I'm going to use a clean sheet of paper because God, it sounds like there's somebody upstairs. And I'm home alone. But if there was somebody up there, the dogs would be letting me know. So I'm not that concerned. So I'm going to do the other side. And I'm seeing that that powder is starting to, see, that's like a gold and white. I love that. I'm going to knock that off a little bit. I'm going to get my other one. Do the top. Now I do like that having a few pieces in the middle. So let me see if I can just sprinkle with the brush some in the middle. And on the bottom, just to give it a little, it's too like flat for me that it's all the same. So I like that. I'm going to do the same with this one. I need to add a little. I can take from here. It's easier to take from the container. That's nice. So now I'm going to take this paper. This is how you do it this is how I learned to do it when I did cards, and you just fold it up. When you do cards, you seem like you get a lot more, out than you do when you do this one. Because you're just working on a little space. I'm going to get rid of that paper. And then I'm going to do this one. Do the embossing powder. You do that one last. You put it on top. And that's what gives it the depth. So here's our pieces. Trying to kiss. No kissing. We're busy right now. And I wonder if we put the clear on the middle, if it would. I'm just sprinkling it on there. I wonder if it would, you'd still see the tape. I'm not sure. That would be a good experiment if someone wanted to experiment that. So I think they're ready for me to put them on the plate. The only thing is you got to be careful you don't flip them. Because if you flip them, you've lost all your work. There's one. And there's two. Now they're heating. And I got sparkles everywhere. Everywhere. I better put this back over there because it's too hot to lay down. And that will be our show for today. That will be our learn something new today. I think in about a year I'll have taught you everything I know, and then we'll just have to find fun things we like to redo in a different way. It's melting. One thing I noticed is that we might want to be sure to make sure the hole is still open. The hole is open in that one. The hole is open in that one. I'm thinking this would look really cute right there on top, don't you? Yeah, let me see how they're doing. They're melting. I did sprinkle a little of that clear in the middle to see how that did. So would you call this faux, what is that? Enameling? Faux enameling? How would that sound? Is Tina on there? Does she approve of that? Faux enameling. Because it's not really enameling. So I noticed that one I put at the top is a lot thicker, and it took a little bit longer for me to for it to melt, which is fine. I just had to watch it and make sure it was done melting. Oh, they turned out really pretty. They're really, really pretty. I'm not really a red girl. I don't wear much red, but every once in a while, if I do wear red, I'd like to really have a pair of earrings, and these are going to be so pretty with these chunky. I mean, someone made that into a necklace. I mean, that thing is heavy as anything. So I want to put these two stones at the top of these earrings. I think that will look gorgeous. It's very earthy looking, earthy red. I like that. Smoky red. Southwest kind of red. I call it like organic red. So evidently the air is opening and shutting the doors over there. You're like, is someone walking in? So the suction through the house must be opening and shutting the doors. That's hilarious. That's what's making that noise. Sometimes you get spooked when you're home by yourself. You spook your own self. I wonder if that door is open is why. Because the heater's not on. Okay, let's see if these are cool enough to touch yet. You have to be careful what you put them down on because they do stick. Look at that. That is so cool. They turned out really pretty. Tina must not be listening because I wondered what she thought about faux enameling. If you're listening, girlfriend, look how pretty they turned out. You could just put an ear wire on those and they'd be done. That's my faux enameling for the day with washi tape. What is it called? I always forget what this is called. Embossing powder. Embossing powder. You buy that stuff and you have it forever. It takes you forever to use it. But you could do it on this. I did actually do a piece like that where I embossed it. It was very pretty the way that it turned out. That's a focal piece there. Wouldn't that be pretty? And it doesn't cover those ridges up. But that's the show for today. I'm very pleased with how those turned out. So I'm going to add some of these beads up here. I'm not sure what green. I think I'd like to find me a green bead to put on the top of those. Maybe add those and call it a day. Call it a set of earrings. Is that cool or what? I do notice, so because this stuff, you're going to have to take the back of the earring and just take the roughness off. Not so much the roughness is the any of that powder that got on there. I noticed if it was on there, it stuck to the back. And just make sure it feels smooth. It's a little bumpy, but see this here, that one's not bad. I just like things to be smooth. They don't have to be cleaned off. I just want them to be smooth. There we go. That's smooth. Let's see, this one's a little bumpy. It's that powder. It got on the back when you laid it down in there. So it might be good if you don't want that on the back to brush that off before to take it and brush it off. Because that embossing, clear embossing ink will actually, hold it on there if you picked it up. That's the nice thing about having the ink. Because you could bypass the ink, but because you see it's stuck to where we didn't put ink. But if you bypass the ink, and you turn it upside down, it's going to fall off. It's not going to sit there. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for being a good motivator to make jewelry. If you're new and you've never been here before and you're watching me on YouTube, shoot me a note and say, hey, there's Tina. She said she's listening. Zane said, nice. So you like so Tina, my question was, these would be considered Fox, is it Fox? Am I saying it right? Fox. I can't say it. Faux, is it faux or fox? That's hilarious. Faux or fox? Enamel earrings. And these are done with embossing powder and washi tape. And you know what? I won't buy any more washi tape unless it fits into this container. I got to use this up. And when I make orders, I pull my washi tape out and washi tape my stuff so I can get rid of this washi tape so I can buy new. So look, I could do some purple. I'd have to cut that one down in size, but isn't that pretty? I could do this butterfly one. I can do that one. That's in the same series as the one I just did. See there, I got double of those and I love those. I could make a ton of those. I can make a red, white, and blue. There's some grass. There's like some astronomical, look, and there's like stamped. I like this one here. Life is good. Now that wouldn't fit on there, but that's what I can do. What can you do with your washi tape? Anyway, so get an old electric skillet, get you some powder and emboss away. But like I got the window open over there. That's probably why them doors are open and shutting, because I got the window open. They're going, whoo, whoo, the doors are. And I'm like, is somebody coming in those doors? Huh. But I got dogs. Ain't nothing getting in my house without me knowing it. Nothing. We had some people come out and check out those coyote last night, and they saw them, but they would never come on our property. So I'd go out there at 4 a.m. with the dogs, and them coyotes are out there in my space. I don't mind them out there. They just got to stay away. Aren't they beautiful rubies? Rough rubies. I paid $12 for that necklace. It was a steal. I'm going to make me some beautiful stuff out of it. But I'm telling you what, they are heavy. So you can't do a lot of them. I don't even know if I can do earrings yet. Probably. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for making some cool fox. The dogs would have alerted you. Spell check was stubborn. It kept typing go. Faux. It's faux. F-O. Faux. Faux. Isn't it F-A-U-X? Faux? Fox? Faux? Like pretend? It's pretend enameling, but it's not enameling. It's pretend. It looks like enameling. Doesn't that look like enameling? These are my old earrings I've worn forever that I did the same principle with a long time ago. I wonder if we painted those because it looks like we painted them and then added the other. I don't know if we did or not. It was so long ago. We all have a great Friday. And we'll see you next time. She says, pronounced faux, yes. But how's it spelled? F-A-U, fake to be blunt. But isn't it spelled like F-A-U-X or something like that? Faux? Fox? Faux enameling? There's my little bee earrings. Bye now. We'll see you next time. Fancy French word. Fake to be blunt. This is what I was thinking it was called, how it was spelled. I hate to go off and you trying to, isn't that how it's supposed to be spelled? Yes, that's what I thought, but pronounced faux. Yeah, they're my fake earrings. My fake enamel. Never thought I'd do those, but I love how those turned out. I'm going to add this at the top. We have a good day. Create away.